Washington, D.C., a city that lives and dies by politics. Today, there are 434 House seats up for election and 33 Senate seats. Then there are the challengers in each of those races, but the election will determine more than who will hold these offices. More is at stake today than the futures of the candidates. Each congressman and senator has a staff of 2 to 10 people. Each challenger would need a similar-sized staff. Thousands of jobs will be affected by the congressional elections today. Congress gives 2/3 of committee staff positions to the majority party instead of an even division. When majority leadership changes as it did in the Senate in 1980, hundreds of people are ousted, hundreds more hired. Concerning the overview, there are some general statements which can be made about what happens when one party loses and the other party wins. David Strawn of the Washington, D.C. Board of Realtors has seen politicians come and go.
Safe to say that when the Republicans leave office in Washington, they tend to stay in town, and the Democrats tend to more often go back to their home districts.
And on the whole, there was a period of time to reflect, regroup, and seek the next move.
A couple of months after they find out the bad news and have looked around for something else to do, if they find something in Washington, they tend to stick around, and at the end of that period of time, if they don't, I guess they head back to Kansas.
Here are 3 examples: an expected change faced by Mary Helen Thompson in Senator Tsongas's office, an easy win faced by Dan Evans of Representative Don Bonker's staff, and an uncertain race faced by Tom Talbert in Senator Jepson's office. Mary Helen Thompson, press aide to Senator Tsongas of Massachusetts, has known that she would be making a career change because her boss is retiring.
Some people come to the Hill for a specific amount of time, for a year or 2 or 3 or 4. And so they are not as emotionally caught up, I think, in this changeover. But for those who do stay with their bosses and do plan to stay for a longer period of time, it's you're always tense, I think.
Mary Helen has worked for a congressman for 3 years and now Senator Tsongas for 6 years. This move is expected for her, but she empathizes with those who may be caught shocked by the election results.
To wake up on the 7th of November knowing that it's all over can be very, very wrenching.
Dan Evans shares Mary Helen's understanding of the tension in a congressman's office. He has worked on and off Capitol Hill for 10 years, this time as press aide to Representative Don Bonker of Washington.
There's a bit of gambling in working on the Hill. Certainly there's an excitement when it comes around election time because of the uncertainty and the high stakes involved.
Because of that uncertainty, Evans says a number of his colleagues are in the lurch.
Yeah, well, a lot of people are in races now where they've got one foot in the office they're in now and the other one's about to land someplace else, or it's sort of feeling out other options.
And that uncertainty is nowhere more evident than in the office of Senator Roger Jepson, who is in a difficult race in Iowa. Tom Talbert is a press aide.
The point is that I feel that if my man doesn't win, that the country has a whole lot to lose.
Tom says part of the problem in making the individual's next move has been in making such a strong commitment to the candidate.
You really haven't had much time to think about yourself. It's been all dealing with the candidate, with the issues. And I think on Election Day, probably shortly after the polls open, it hits everybody what's really at stake.
And in the case of Talbert, who is in Washington because of his commitment to certain religious issues, his apprehension is being replaced by trust.
I really feel that the Lord's going to provide my needs, and those are my family. And again, being out here on conviction, I feel that I was really led out here, and I feel that as a result of that, I'm not going to be let down.
Unlike the candidates, not much attention is paid to staff members on Election Day, but in a real sense, they are subject to the election process as much as the candidates. Rick Taylor, CBN News, Washington.